again, YouTubers and Monsuno fans. 24/7 here again for Monsuno 24/7 with an episode summary for episode number 3, Underground. Underground first aired on March 1st here in the US. Now, as the episode begins, it says 8 hours later at the bottom of the screen. At first, I thought that meant 8 hours later than basically when the second episode ended, but they're actually showing us something that happens later in the episode as a precursor to what's going to happen later. Anyways, 8 hours later, Chase, Brent, and Jinja are running through the sewers. After Jinja breaks them through a doorway, they end up on some train tracks with a train fast approaching. They start to run, and then the intro comes on. We are then basically taking back 8 hours when Chase and the others are in Axis Town. This basically seems to be at least partially based off of New York City. They are here to meet up with Grandma Future, who they believe may know something about where Jerry Suno is, Chase's father. When they meet up with her, she informs them that Dr. Suno went to the underground for research with Mr. Black. She goes on to say that the underground is a place of evil, and that the road you are about to travel is dangerous. Before they part ways, Grandma Future gives Chase a rock as some form of good luck, or at least that's what she tells him, as well as the address to the underground. Now, after Chase and the others leave, Grandma Future sits down inside, and the chair she's on is then lowered through the floor to a lower level. Here, she appears to be spying on them with a lot of technology and screens where it shows the streets and basically shows her exactly where they are. You can also hear what they're saying as well, which you'll figure out why that is a little bit later here. Now, when they get to the address that they provided to them, they determine it must be the right place due to the smell. When they enter, they are rudely greeted by Monsuno, Snapclaw. And for you that don't know, Snapclaw is the one down here. He's got big pincers like a very large crab or whatever. Hopefully I got that in screen. I'm not seeing what I'm showing as I'm doing this, so that is how Snapclaw looks. However, he is quickly returned by his owner, who ultimately takes him to a battle arena where all the Monsuno are red, and Chase and the others don't really understand why. It is here where they meet up with Mr. Black, who is the one they went here to see. Chase agrees to enter a battle, where if he wins, he gets Monsuno essence and all the info Mr. Black has about his father. However, if Chase loses, Mr. Black gets his Monsuno lock. However, with Locke being Chase's last link to his father, Jinja and Bren say it's too risky. So, Bren and Quick Force then enter the arena instead to face off against Mr. Black and his Monsuno, Spike Lash, which is the one up top here. Hopefully I got that in screen. If you can tell, at least in the picture here with the large mouth, he spits acid, which can be a very wicked looking attack. So anyways, it's Spike Lash against Quick Force. Now as the battle begins, Grandma Future seems to have control over the stadium from her location, causing Quick Force to appear to be electrocuted when stepping in certain parts of the arena. After a few electrifying encounters, and with an acid attack incoming from Spike Lash, Bren returns Quick Force to his core. Mr. Black then approaches him, stating that Bren has something that belongs to him, Mr. Black, with that of course being Quick Force, since he lost the battle. However, Chase then challenges him, double or nothing, Mr. Black's rules. Grandma Future communicates with Mr. Black through an earpiece, telling him to close the deal. However, Jinja then steps in and requests a fight with Mr. Black with no Monsuno, since she does not yet have one of her own. It appears though that our opponents are two large guards, righty and lefty. Regardless, she makes very short work of them, as she goes airborne, gives them each a hard kick to the chest, sending them flying to the ground, and she then runs off and grabs the Monsuno essence, which is off to the side, and they all run off as the show goes to commercial. When the show returns from commercial, they are now back in the sewers, just as the episode began, and we basically see that scene replayed. So, they end up being chased by the train, and unwisely in my opinion, they run on the train tracks, basically trying to run faster than the train is traveling. Obviously, that's a pretty hard thing to do. However, while running for their lives, Jinja takes out an empty core. Now this one's blue, but their empty cores are actually more gray in color. She then pops the Monsuno essence inside the core, which then turns it into the blue and gray color like this, which all the Core-Tech cores are. And she then stops, turns around, and launches her Monsuno, which ends up being Charger. However, it is now officially his name at this point. Charger then stops the train on the spot, and at least for now, they are safe. And if you don't know what Charger looks like, there's a look at it. We'll probably all the toys I'm showing you here that are sealed, we'll probably end up doing unboxing videos for. I got a lot of sealed stuff to do unboxings for that. Now that we're caught up on the episode summaries after this one, obviously, we'll be able to do a lot more toy unboxings, and also the trading cards come out early next week, so I'll have those soon as well. But anyways, back to our summary here. So Charger stops the train, and they're safe. However, Grandma Future is still spying on them she is still spying on them though, and relaying their location to Mr. Black. As they emerge from underground into a subway, they are greeted by Mr. Black requesting his battle that they ran out on. It ends up being a 3-on-3 battle with Locke, Quick Force, and Charger going up against Spike Lash, Snapclaw, and Firewalker. Firewalker does not currently have any sort of toys associated with it, so can't really show you what it looks like. However, if you go on the Monsuno wiki page, you can find a page for Firewalker where he looks like. He's kind of like a dinosaur, triceratops type looking creature who can seem to breathe fire and shoot fire from different parts of his body. Now anyway, after they all basically demolish the subway, they take their fight above ground. There, it doesn't take long for one of the Eclipse Monsuno. I don't think I mentioned that yet, but all the red Monsuno are basically Eclipse ones. So you got Cortex, Storm, and Eclipse. Those are the 3 different classes, subgroups, however you want to classify them as. So one of the Eclipse Monsuno causes a building to start collapsing. Noticing this, all the Cortex Monsuno hurl the Eclipse Monsuno towards the collapsing building, which ultimately falls on top of them, defeating them all and sending Mr. Black running. Locke stops him and pins him down though, as Chase wants info about his father. However, Mr. Black turns out to be mostly clueless, and Chase can then hear Grandma Future talking to Mr. Black through that earpiece. He puts 2 and 2 together, takes out that good luck rock that she had given him, drops it to the floor, and crushes it. This causes some ear-wrenching feedback on Grandma Future's end, and they end up letting Mr. Black and the rest of them run off as Locke is returned to his core. We are then taken back to Grandma Future's place, where she is talking to Mr. Black in person. It is here that we officially learn that Mr. Black is Grandma Future's son, as she's saying things like, "Is this how I raised you?" and Mr. Black saying, "I'm sorry, mother," and all that stuff. So it's very clear Mr. Black is Grandma Future's son. We then are shown Chase, Brent, and Jinja having a conversation. Here, Jinja explains how her Monsuno basically charged out and stopped the train. This is when she officially names it Charger, as it seems fitting based on how it was used. They then hear on a radio that S.t.o.r.m released a statement that any monsters seen in Axis Town were basically an illusion caused by light and smoke from a methane explosion, and that there is no such thing as monsters. So, that will do it for this week's episode summary of Underground. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. You can then opt to get email updates for all of our future video uploads here on Monsuno 24/7. Give us a big thumbs up if you like these episode summary videos and want me to continue doing more of them. Check out toygamingemporium.com for all of your toy and gaming needs. I'll try to get some Monsuno stuff out of there ASAP. As I said, I got a whole bunch of stuff to open up, and I got extra stuff to sell as well. So I'll try to get that on the website within the next week or so. And FYI, the link for the webpage is in the description box below. And stay tuned to this channel, like I said, for some more toy unboxings and reviews. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next video.